What's up, everybody? It is Jamey Rose, and this is Paying Dues. Well, the question is, what took you so long? I don't know, man, but it's been a while.
It's been a while.
And I'm back home. And if you're new to the channel, give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell. Would really appreciate it. But in the past, we did things a little differently. We live streamed the show. It was right after Raw. Didn't really give myself time to really think about the shows. Kind of sit and let it marinate in my mind. But we're doing it different. We're going to just talk straight opinions, what's going on. I'm wanting to do something different. I'm wanting to do something new. So we're going to straight post these to YouTube. We're going to take some time to collect thoughts and to put it out for everybody. And if you have any opinions, videos, tweets, submissions, send those out, please. I would really appreciate that, just so we can get some interaction with everybody. With that being due, this is Payin Dues.
Hey, looking good, Turner.
Dinkelberg.
So since the last time we've met, a lot has happened. Not even in my own life, also, in wrestling. But let's talk about what's going on in my life so far. I've done my second Diamond State Wrestling show, and it was totally amazing. The Rare Cut is taking off and going to heights unimagined. A lot of things are kicking off in my career, and 2024 is just going to be even better. My confidence is growing behind the microphone. My readiness, my preparedness, all of that's taken off. I'm working with some of the greatest talent in the South. Getting to bounce ideas off of them. Getting to just be in the presence of how the business should be ran, especially on the independent level. The guys at Diamond State, they do it like nobody else. And that's a testament to it all, because I was there for the first show. It was this year, 2023. I was part of the ring crew, and I was still new to the podcasting thing. And just trying to do something different. I knew I wanted to be a part of this. Before that, I was on a ring crew for another promotion. It was an outlaw thing. But, I got my break in. I met people. I networked. So I can't completely, dog on it. That just wouldn't be fair to anybody involved. But, meeting the current promoter and of Diamond State at, the Comic-Con there, getting connected. I've heard a lot about this guy. And, actually seeing him and getting to talk to him made me assured that, hey, I want to help this out. I want to be a part of this, and I want to be involved. And, I invited him onto the podcast, and it all took off from there. And look at me now. I'm, we got a weekly, bi-weekly sometimes show with the professional in the field. And it's been doing great, doing good numbers, and I couldn't be even more proud of myself. I know it's kind of weird to talk about myself in that kind of light, because I'm always the type of guy to beat up on myself. I don't give myself props. I don't talk about, I'm a commentator on a professional. And I'm not that guy, and I hate being that guy. But one of these things is, I haven't been with you guys in a while. I haven't opened up my space up to you guys. So I just want to be transparent with you guys and what's going on, and not just my personal journey, my work journey, and my mental journey. So I just want to be open with you guys on that.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever.
And before I get on to the wrestling talk, I am from Arkansas, so I do have to say, hallelujah. Bobby P, the prodigal, not necessarily a son, but the prodigal man is back. Let's get the Harley Davidsons running. We're going on the pig trail. And the thing about it, disgraced coach, everything like that, the motorcycle accident, the scandal. We were number 3 at the time, and then our program hasn't been the same since. And it's kind of sad to see it that way, because we were such at a good place in the program. That happens, and we've sucked ever since. You can look at it, and our program is in shambles. So I'm just excited to see the hype around that and see what Arkansas football will do next season. So on the wrestling now.
Hello, I like money.
So Survivor Series happened last Saturday. Today is Wednesday as I'm talking to you guys about it. And everyone's talked about it. The return of Phil Brooks, CM Punk. I was really excited for it. I didn't know it was going to come, honestly. I mean, I knew he would probably come back, something like that. I just didn't expect it to be in Chicago, because it's something that's just been done to death. But that's also why you do it. But I'm really excited that he's back, and like he said on Raw, he's back home. We'll talk about something else he said on Raw in a second, but I think this is a point of closure in his career. Not saying that he's wrapping up or anything like that. What I'm saying is that the whole thing happened between him, Vince, and the administration and Triple H and all that. And times has changed. Triple H even said he's changed and I've changed, and this is different, and it's a different WWE. WWE's changed, Triple H has changed, and CM Punk has changed. I mean, CM Punk is, everyone knows, and it's well documented. He went to AEW. He tried to do the thing. He tried to help. Say what you want about the man, but the man is still a draw. The stats are out there. But to see him go over there, do his thing, or at least attempt to do his thing, and then to be in such a controversial spot that, the brawl out and the all-in accident, both of them, just kind of speaks testaments to maybe what happened over there. I'm not going to take either side or this or that, it's a different landscape from each of the different places. And that's a whole nother conversation, because, they could say, the inmates are running the asylum at one place and it's a more professional, more corporate-like environment at the other. But, I mean, I'm not there. Who am I to say? I could have my opinions and everything like that, and at the end of the day, I could still be wrong. All I know is that, CM Punk is there at Survivor Series. He looks happy, and he looks healthy. That's the two main things I take away from it. It's like he looks like he Benjamin Buttoned himself by 10 years. He looks 10 years younger. And that's a good sign to see. I'm not even speaking from a WWE fan point of view. I'm not speaking from an AEW fan point of view. I'm not saying see him feel this, see him feel that. I'm saying, hell, he looks good, and he looks like he's ready to go and make some money. Like he said on Raw a few nights ago, he said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Which is great, because when he came out, I mean, you saw Seth Rollins doing the whole, F you, F this, And silly as it looks, it's smart. Because at the same time, these two guys, it's documented, they don't like each other. That's probably a shoot. That's probably legit. But at the same time, I think these are two guys that are smart and know the business enough to say, hey, let's go make some money. We might not like each other, but we're going to go out and put on a hell of a program and not make the company money, but make us some money too while we're at it. And that was a missed opportunity from, the Brawl Out situation. Those guys never interacted. That could have been a big money match for AEW, and just it never happened. So I'm excited to see where those two guys could take it, if they take it anywhere, because it's bound to happen. But to see where beforehand what CM Punk gets himself into, it's intriguing, because you got Randy Orton, who came back and he looks yoked. He looks yoked. Like, Randy Orton probably is in the best shape of his life. It's crazy to see how jacked the man is. But to, Randy Orton, it looks like he's getting to feud with Judgment Day and butt heads with Rhea Ripley on a weekly basis. Which is fine, because that's different, going on with them. And to see maybe CM Punk come and, feud with, Finn Balor, those guys like that. There's a lot of possibilities even before he touches Rollins. So the door of possibilities is open. So one thing I did do previously when I did the show, or did, the Payin Dues, the podcast, whatever one want to call it, was I did a Monday night review. I'll do a little bit of Raw talk, but before then, let's go into some letters. This one is addressed to CM Punk. I was in fear for my life. Signed, no one in the Raw locker room. I bleeping hate your guts, but we gotta work together because we're grown adults. Signed, Seth Rollins. Does this remind you of hell freezing over with Bret Hart? Yes. And also seeing the picture of Triple H and CM Punk. Doesn't that remind you a little bit when Eric Bischoff shook hands? And was it 2002, I think, with Vince McMahon? There's something there. If they play on the whole, the people in the locker room don't like you type of thing and feed off of that, there's huge possibility in that. Monday there wasn't really much talk from the other superstars about that, so I don't know if they've really made their mind on what to do about that. I mean, he just came in, and from what everything seems, it was a last minute kind of ordeal, and no one really knew about it, but people know. So let's figure it out,
Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters.
So at the beginning of the show, we heard from Randy Orton. Great promo. Great promo. And got the interaction with Rhea Ripley and set up the match between Dom and Randy Orton. And that was a good match. Jelly Roll being involved, that's funny. Jelly Roll's a great artist, but you gotta have your celebrities in there. It's Nashville, but yeah, I gotta figure that one out. What I did like though was the tag team turmoil match. That was good. The Creed brothers are good. The New Day, one of the goats. DIY, DIY is just not hitting it for me. It did back in the day, but these two guys, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
They're getting a little bit older. I know age in wrestling has nothing to do with it. I know with Tommaso Ciampa's injury history, it's kind of slowed him down. It's slowed down his style a little bit. That doesn't take away from what I think about him as an individual wrestler. But just WWE or these guys haven't really done anything to get me interested in them. I mean, the thing with Imperium and Gunther, that was okay. I enjoyed that, them coming back, reuniting for that. But after that, it's kind of been stale. And I know Triple H is trying to, push some of these newer guys and kind of figure out what he wants to do with that tag team division because, those belts are kind of locked in right now at the Judgment Day. So everything else in the tag team division kind of gets a little bit to the wayside. But to see that, they're putting on these turmoil matches, but not only that they're just throwaway turmoil matches, that the match quality is actually pretty good. It's good. On the Creed brothers, they're good athletes. They have potential. Before I make a real judgment on them, I want to see more. I want to see more on the main roster for them. And hopefully they pull a great match against the champions when they have that match. Also, bring me back to the whole Randy Judgment Day thing. Here's a tweet from my good pal, our tribal Keith. Right here it says, Randy Orton should have punt kicked that swole ass MGK. Oh man, that was good. That was good. Yeah. It was a good Raw. Overall, you had some of the points that made it, it's like normal Raw. But for the majority of it, it kept me interested. It kept me glued to the television set. Like, I sat down, I watched it at the beginning, and I watched it at the end, and I watched, a little bit in the middle. And it's really good. Really good. Judgment Day's still hitting their stride. Even though they took an L, they're still hitting that stride. It's nice to see Randy back. How long is it going to take before he turns heel? Drew, the whole thing with Drew McIntyre. I'm really excited to see where that goes. I'm a big fan of Drew. I have been for the longest time. For me, it's a little frustrating to see because it's, the slow burn. I want to see them, hurried up and do things with the guy. On a personal fan note, he got screwed out of the title and stuff like that to progress the bloodline story. But for them to, do that angle that they did, have him pretty much being called out and said, Seth, you were right. And then just slowly turning him into a mad psychopath. I'm excited for it. Get to see a different side of Drew. Because he's kind of in that in between. It's like, yes, he's a mad psychopath, but he's likable and he's doing his own thing. But to see him be more sadistic and just destroy everything in his sight, there's a lot of potential in that. A lot of potential in that. And happy to see where that goes. But, going into that, Raw overall was good. The CM Punk promo, a lot of people are talking about how, oh, he didn't flame AEW, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. It's one of those things, he doesn't have to. All he has to do is be on the television, and the television sets are going to, be there. He's going to get the eyes. He's a draw. He's a draw. Say what you want about him. He's a draw. And for CM Punk to go out there, do what he did. He was saying, I'm home. He's getting the people behind him. That's what you got to do. You got, when you come out like that, you gotta, say the things that people are gonna like. And then also, do a little bit of teasing, saying, not everyone's happy for me to be here, setting the little bit of seeds, but very subtly, because you're going to have a lot more time for explosive promos and cuts and stuff like that, They're probably not thinking about doing the Seth CM Punk program for a while, so don't rush yourself into something. Make it a very slow burn, so it makes the people really, really want to see it, and that draws more eyes, viewers, attendees, and that makes you even more money. That's just my opinion. I'm not an expert. If you want to be an expert, just go to TikTok and watch, and they'll tell you exactly what's going on in the wrestling landscape. They know more than anybody. Or just go to Twitter or the X. So. And then this is something new I want to do to the show. I want to have you guys, send me in your opinions, your takes, and see what I feel about them, So here's Mike, all wrestling fan for life. Everyone likes Mike, and if you don't, well, just it's whatever.
So, Jamey asked me if I had any takes whatsoever about the CM Punk returning and Randy Orton and stuff like that for pretty much Survivor Series. So one thing we're not talking about is the greatest return of all time, R-Truth. But we're gonna get past that since always talking about it. But just messing around. But happy to see R-Truth back. Glad to see Randy back. I'm glad to see Punk back. No, he did not outshadow him. Just because you see numbers on one thing going, oh my God, it's, he's got 2K or 2 million and CM Punk's got 4. That's not how it, guys, please really think about this. He was introduced to come back. It wasn't a surprise. People already knew he was coming back. He was gone for 18 months. CM Punk hasn't been in the WWE for at least 9 years. Going on, I think it was almost going on 10. He hasn't been in the arena whatsoever with the WWE. So, of course, he's going to have a huge pop. Randy had a huge pop. He did not outshadow. People already knew Randy was coming. Period. There was no surprise there. Everybody was happy to see him, but there was no surprise aspect. That's why CM Punk had a bigger pop.
That was really good to hear from you, Mike. Really good opinion. Like I said, Randy Orton, they had the thing, call him out, stuff like that. And CM Punk showed up. A lot of people didn't expect it. A lot of people did. And, it's one of those things. If you asked me even a year ago, would CM Punk be back in the WWE? I would say probably never. Just, it's one of those things. But with WWE, time and time again, you say never. And, yeah. Never say never, because, man, it's definitely a moment. No, it did not outshine Randy Orton's return. What we got with Randy Orton's return, I think even exceeded what we got with Randy Orton's return. Because, remember when we were talking, even months before, like, oh, could he even hit an RKO anymore? This guy's out here hitting those DDTs, and hitting them RKOs like it's nothing. Like he's handing them out like Oprah. So, with that, like, we're going to see a lot more Randy. And I am super excited for that. So, let's go. And thank you, Mike. And then here's another one from the Will Gray. If you're not following the Will Gray anywhere, he is the founder of Rivet Seed Radio, host of Botch Bots and Chair Shots. He is one of your encyclopedias when it comes to anything wrestling. He is an all-around great guy, the Will Gray. He's also a chef by trade, something like that. You know, chef by trade, mark by choice. He explains it better than anyone else. The guy is a absolute beast, though. Anyways, he writes in, separating the art plus person, does CM Punk do enough for the business to counteract the detriment Phil Brooks seems to cause? Well, that's the thing, especially now that he's back in the WWE fold, they run it more like a corporate business. It is a corporate business, pretty much. I will say, yes, he does, because he draws eyes to the product. Even if you had that guy there for, 2 days, it would be a benefit. Because at the end of the day, look at those numbers. Advertisers see those numbers. And it's mind-blowing to see the amount of hits that return got. You know, the 27 million, probably plus more clicks on social and all that. You know, it's a big monumentous thing. And, if he could do that in one night, being 10 years away from the company, going out the way he did, just says to the fact that he, is he a draw or not? He's a draw. And I think there's plenty of people in that locker room and that administration that can help him when, he's, kind of in his moods or spot or, however he's feeling. I don't think there's going to be much of that because, he's going to be working with people that know the business, understand the business. I'm not saying that people in AEW don't know the business or understand the business. They're still an infant company, speaking in terms. The WWE's been around, at least in this current form, since 85. We're not even talking about, Vince's dad. So the experience, even in the back, has a lot to play in this, because at the end of the day, it's not Punk's company, but it sure does help to have people like Punk, like Roman, that are there that can boost numbers, like Cena, stuff like that. You saw the numbers when The Rock came back. CM Punk is good for the business. Thank you all. Thank you all. And that being said, thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciated doing this, and I just wanted to say I've missed you guys. And it's been too long. It's been a while. And I love you guys. And if you're not checked out with anything that I do over at Diamond State, please check that out. The rare cuts, they're on Thursdays. Right now during the holidays, we're doing them bi-weekly. We'll figure out the schedule for 2024. We're going to be doing a lot in 2024, and it's going to be a great year. Rivet City Radio, check those guys out. Botch Spots and Chair Shots, The Red Zone, all the shows there. Off the Top Media, my boys. Check it out with Scowls, Shadow, all the guys, Boom, Cam G, all those guys. And also the newest member of Off the Top, Mr. Phil. I'm not even going to attempt the last name, but Phil Kahn. Great addition. He's going to be joining me and Scowls every Friday night on Friday Night Review in absence of Cam. So with that being said, this is Payin Dues. I'm Jamey, and that's the deal.